What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be going through the entire MAC Electric Wonder collection with you. We're gonna do a look, we're gonna do swatches, we're gonna do it all. Actually, I'm doing two looks sort of because there are two palettes in this collection. One is more cool tone neutrals and one is more warm tone neutrals. So I did identical looks on each eye, just using the different cool tone and warm tone neutrals from each palette so that you guys could see both and make a comparison. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I really am enjoying this two-toned neutral look. I don't know why, but I am so into it and I'm like excited to wear this for the rest of the day. As far as the lip products in this collection, I am going to do swatches of all of them. However, for some reason, my PR package came with one lip gloss and one lipstick missing. I'm missing the lipstick in Feelin' Sentimental and I'm missing the lip gloss in Make Me Mercurial, which is like the berry tone shade. In case you missed the announcement in the last video, the next installation of Get Ready With Me, where we will finish the second half of A Court of Thorns and Roses while doing a Get Ready With Me, will be up on Monday the 17th of June. I'm very excited to finish that book with you guys. It seems to be quite popular so far, so I'm really excited to finish it. If you're just hearing about that series, I will leave more information down below as well as a link to the first video. There are a lot of products in this collection, so I'm going to timestamp all of them down below. I'll also link where you can find the collection. For the most part, I use every product in this look today, but the ones that, you know, are like highlighters that are too deep for my skin and stuff like that, I swatched all of those. So every single thing will be used in one way or another. Before we get into it, please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking a second to do that, because you know what? It's fantastic when you do it. And that's it. That's it. That's all I have to say. I like it. I enjoy it. It makes me feel good, gives me feedback, helps my channel. It's great. And if you are new here, perhaps you have been creeping around my videos for a little bit and you're like, maybe I should subscribe or maybe I shouldn't. I don't know what to do. Well, I'm here to help. You should, okay? You should. I want to have you around. I want to have a buddy here to talk about makeup with. So if you needed a sign to do it, that was it. All right, I'm gonna shut up because we have literally so much makeup to go through today, like so much. I don't even remember where I started, but I'm pretty sure I started with the bronzers. So let's jump in to the bronzers first, maybe, hopefully. I think it was the bronzers. Yeah, it was the bronzers. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing we have is the two next to nothing bronzing powders. Two shades here. One is called Sun Soaked Strip and one is called Canyon Dreamin'. I'm gonna pop these open and we'll figure out which one I think will work for me. This is what the outside of the packaging looks like. The packaging on these is like so annoyingly me. Like this is like my whole Pinterest board right here. Like my whole Pinterest is here. Also, I want this on my nails so bad. You know, I bet if I took a set of the Marmalade Amethyst nails and then put some gold over them, I can probably recreate this look. I may have to try that. So this is the bronzer in the shade Sun Soaked Strip. Quick finger swatch for you on my arm. And this is the shade Canyon Dreamin'. So this is Sun Soaked Strip and this is Canyon Dreamin'. This one definitely has more red in it. They're both around the same depth though, so it's not like the most versatile set of bronzers in the world. Personally, for me, what I would use these for is this one would be more along the lines of if I was really trying to look like I got some sun, and this one would be kind of like something I use for a light contour and bronze at the same time situation on like a light makeup day. That's kind of like my two things that I gravitate toward for bronzers. I think I'm gonna go into Sun Soaked Strip. My face is already a little bit bronzed because I put on a little bit of the Huda Tantour earlier, so I'm just gonna add to that with this shade. Definitely lots of red undertones in that one. I actually personally like a bronzer with red undertones in it. You know what? I'm actually gonna take a little bit of Canyon Dreamin' on a smaller brush and see just what it looks like up here. Whatever, I'll wear a bronzer helmet today. These seem like they're perfectly nice bronzers. They're just MAC bronzers in really nice packaging. Also, before I put these away, it seems like there's no shimmer in these at all, but it almost seems like there's like a little touch of luminosity in them. So just FYI. Okay, next up we have the Ignite Wonder Face Palette. This is what the outside packaging of the palette looks like. And this is what is on the inside. Now, I like that there is a variety of highlight shades in here because it works for more people that way. This one on the end, although it is probably the deepest shade in here, I feel like for most people that would be more like a blush topper than a highlight just because it is so pink. Okay, I'm gonna do the top row first. We're gonna do Wonder Who, Some Kind of Wonderful, and Any Wonder. Wonder Who is a little bit more on the subtle side. Then there's Some Kind of Wonderful. That looks like it's gonna be my shit right there. Any Wonder does look like it's a nice shade, but that one is definitely not a highlight shade for me. And for the bottom row, we have Girl Wonder, Seven Wonders, and Wonder Years. My swatches are always all over my arm. I'm so sorry. You would think I'd get better at this by now, but I really haven't. So I would say that these two shades both seem like they would most likely be blush toppers. Girl Wonder also looks like it could be a highlight option for me. It just depends like on what kind of tone I'm going for in my highlight that day. I'm gonna put this down for just a moment and swatch the other face powders, and then we'll do some eyes because I don't want to do my under eyes and then do my highlight and all that before I put on the eyeshadows because we have two eyeshadow palettes to look at as well. So next we have two Electric Wonder Iridescent face powders. I'm not sure what the exact intention of these are because they look like they could either be a highlight or a blush topper. But this is the shade Serenity Seeker. It's so pretty in the pan. Do I know if it's gonna be pretty on the face? No, I have no idea. But in that pan, oh, I wanna play with it. That looks like it could go either way as a blush topper or a highlight depending on who you are and how you use it. The actual title that they give it is Iridescent Face Powder though, so I guess that kind of leaves it open-ended. You can kind of use it however you want. I mean, you could always kind of use it however you want, I suppose, but you know, the intention is a little open-ended here. And this is the other shade, Into Eternity. So pretty also. I just want to like dive in there and swim around or something. This one of the two looks more blush toppery to me. I'm not sure how much it's picking up on camera, but these do have like a little hint of like very soft glitter in them as well. Not Fenty Diamond Bomb kind of glitter, like much more subtle than that, but there's like just a hint in there. I'm gonna go prep my face for eyeshadow real quick, and then we will go into both of the eyeshadow palettes. This collection has two eyeshadow palettes. One is more warm tones and the other one is more cool tones. This is the warmer tone palette called Natural Vice, and this is the cooler tone palette called Desert Lightning. What I thought would be a cool way to try these palettes today is to do a two-toned eye look using each palette on one side. That way it's not like a super crazy long video, but you guys get to see what colors are in both palettes. So I'm gonna do my right eye warm, my left eye cool. That's the plan. For the right side, I'm gonna start with Valley of the Goddess, this shade right here, on a MAC 217 brush, and I'm gonna start by placing that in my upper crease. And from the Desert Lightning palette on the left eye, I'm gonna go into Marzipan, which is this gray taupey shade right here. On the right eye, the Natural Vice side, I'm going to go into Magmatique on a smaller crease brush, and I'm going to start deepening the crease with that. And I'm going to start bringing that down onto my lid as well, just by doing little circular motions at the end. And for the left Desert Lightning side, I'm going to go into Brun, which is a classic matte shade. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. Sticking to the left side with the cool tone palette for now, I'm gonna go into this navy shade right here, Is It the Beat? And I'm gonna start putting that a little bit lower and also onto my actual lid. I'm also gonna bring that onto the inner portion of the lid as well. Switching to a clean brush, I'm gonna go into the warm Natural Vice palette again. I'm gonna dip into this shade right here, which is the namesake of the palette, Natural Vice. I'm gonna do the same thing we just did on this side. For the right side with the Natural Vice palette, I'm gonna go into this gold shade here. This gold shade is really what caught my eye for some reason when I opened these palettes. You know, when you open a palette and just one shade just looks so rich and you're like, yes, get on my eyeballs. So picking up a good amount of that on a Real Technique shading brush. If you can hear jingling in the background, Charlie is adjusting himself on the chair. He's chilling with me here. I'm gonna wet that with a little setting spray. I'm using Anastasia Dewy Set because it was just closer to me. And I'm gonna pop that right in the center on the right side. That is exactly what I wanted it to be. Yes, that's lovely. And back into the shade Magmatique. I'm just gonna pick it up on that little blending brush again and just tap over the edges of that just to soften where the gold meets the darker shades. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Diamond Butterfly up here, which looks like a very pretty bright shimmer. And I'm gonna pick a little bit of that up right on my finger because you know what? God gave us 10 brushes, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna tap that right into the center where I put down that gold to brighten it up. Damn, that's bright. Woo! For the left side, I'm gonna go into the shade Dua Bandita, also on a Real Technique shading brush, and also gonna wet that. And I'm gonna put that down in the center. That is significantly less bright than the shade that we used on this side, but that's okay because I'm gonna go over it with another color as well. I'm gonna go into the shade So Jaded on the same brush. I'm gonna wet that and I'm gonna put that over most of the area where I just put that other color down, but not the whole thing. So we're gonna leave the edges of it sticking out. And on this side, just going back into Brun a little bit and blending the edges of that. And on my finger, I'm gonna go into this bright highlighty shade Fresh Innocence, and I'm gonna tap that in the center. For the underneath portions of the eye, I'm gonna speed through this a little bit because I'm keeping it very simple. So I'm basically going to just take the matte shades that we used on the top lid on each respective side. So first I'm gonna go into Magmatique on a BH number 7 brush, and I'm just gonna use that to smoke out the lower lash line on the right side. And on a smaller brush, this is a Nabla pencil brush, I'm gonna go into Natural Vice and do the very same thing. For the cool side, I'm gonna go first with Brun. For the waterlines, I did this side with Urban Decay Mushroom and this side with Urban Decay Goldmine just to go along with each of the colors. Now for the inner corner on the bottom lash line, I'm gonna go into the color So Jaded for the left side. Pop that on the inner corner. And on the right side, I'm gonna go back into Struck Gold and do the same thing. And on this side, because the gold isn't reading quite as bright as Jaded, I'm gonna go back into Diamond Butterfly on the same brush and just tap a tiny bit of that in the very corner. I'm gonna go ahead and touch up my mascara. I was already wearing some mascara before I sat down. I've been using the new Damn Girl mascara from Too Faced. It's this one right here. I do wish it was waterproof, but for a non-waterproof, I do think it holds the curl pretty well, all things considered. But let me tell you something, if you are looking for a mascara that gives you like obnoxious, in a good way, amounts of volume, this is one of the most voluminous mascaras I've probably ever run across. I'm gonna add lashes and I'll be right back. I finished the eyes with the House of Lashes Allura Light Lashes. So now it is time to play with the face products. I added some blush because what would a blush topper be without blush to top? I think I'm going to use Serenity Seeker, and I'm going to apply that with the brush that came with this collection. This is a 126 SES brush. I don't know what the SES part means. S usually means it's part of their synthetic line. I don't know if that means like limited edition, but anyway, that's what we're using. That's pretty, and it kind of reads almost as a highlight, to be honest. It's definitely not as blush toppery as I thought it was gonna be, but it does have like a little hint of glitteriness to it. I feel like it made me like warm and glowy though, so we like that. Now to properly highlight, I'm going to go into the Ignite Wonder Face Palette, and I'm gonna use the shade Some Kind of Wonderful. I'm using my Nabla highlight brush. I'm just gonna put that on the higher points of my cheeks. Comparing that to the Iridescent Face Powder, this is far more intense, which I would expect. That highlight definitely does not disappoint. MAC highlighters are often some of my favorite highlighters. I feel like they get like stuffed under the radar. So now all that we have left to play with are the lip colors. The collection has 5 lipsticks and 5 lip glasses. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I am missing 1 lipstick and 1 lip glass. I don't know why, but that's just how the collection came to me. The lipstick that I'm missing is a very peachy nude called Feelin' Sentimental. And the lip glass that I'm missing is Make Me Mercurial, which is a berry tone shade. So if you are looking for swatches of either of those, I don't have them, I am sorry. But I'm gonna swatch the rest of them right now, and we're gonna do it montage style because there's no way that I can speak while I apply lipsticks and lip glosses. So let's roll right into the lip swatch montage. The air conditioning is making my eye water and I'm not thrilled about it. But anyway, that brings us to the end of this collection. As far as what I think personally, out of the 2 eyeshadow palettes, I like the way they both performed. If I was personally going to choose one to pick up, I would probably go with the cool toned one, which was Desert Lightning. The reason being that I think this one has a little bit more interesting shades in it because it has the jaded shade and it has the navy blue. Also, I have a lot of warm tone palettes, so for me, a cool tone palette, while it is still neutrals, is a little bit more interesting for my collection than a warm tone palette. The shimmers are lovely. I do prefer to use them wet, but that's how I feel about most shimmers, and the mattes performed very, very well, so no complaints there. The packaging on these is obviously very attractive looking as long as you like that type of aesthetic, but as far as the quality is excellent. It's very, very sturdy feeling. It doesn't feel light. It doesn't feel like super flimsy. It's definitely well executed. I do kind of wish that the pattern extended to the back, but that's a very minor complaint. As far as the face palette is concerned, I really like the highlight formula in here, and I do really appreciate that there are highlight shades in here for a good variety of people. This could also come in very handy for somebody if they were a working makeup artist, so things like this I think are really cool when they're in a collection because you don't always see it. A lot of times you get 1 or 2 shades at most. As far as the 2 iridescent face powders, these are really beautiful. I don't know that they are like the most essential thing in the world. If you're looking for something that gives you a little bit of a lit within glow, and you're somebody who enjoys just a very small hint of glitteriness in your highlight or your blush topper, I think that you'll enjoy this. It does give a really warmed up, like candlelight kind of a look to the skin, which I like. The bronzers worked really well. I did find that they were both around the same level of depth, and I think that it would have been a little bit smarter had they made one a little bit deeper rather than just changing the undertone. That way it would cater to more people, more skin tones, but that is not the case here. However, they do perform really well. If you're looking for a solid bronzer and you think one of these colors makes sense for you and you really like the packaging, I don't think you can go wrong. The brush is a MAC brush, it just happens to be super cute. I think I'm gonna keep this one on the side so that it doesn't get like all dirtied up in my brush collection, maybe keep it in my travel bag because it's super cute and I'm excited for how it looks, and I'm gonna be really mad if it gets makeup all over it right away. Now, we already know what MAC lipsticks are like and the different formulas for the most part, but I've noticed personally lately that I really am gravitating, what? what was that word? I've been gravitating toward the MAC Luster lipsticks, and I never thought that I would say this, but they're a little bit sheer and a little bit shiny. I just think that they're so flattering. I'm actually wearing one of them right now. This is the Naturalist, which is the first shade that I swatched, and I put a little bit of the gloss in the color Marble Fawn in the center of it. But the reason I like these is because personally for me, I don't feel like a light nude shade is very flattering on me. It always looks kind of chalky, but in this Luster formula, it looks so much more flattering. So I've really been liking these a lot lately and not really expecting to. So every time I swatch them, I'm like, delish, I like. I like that they included a sepia shade in the lipsticks. I think that those shades are kind of more appropriate for fall looks in my opinion, but I also feel like they add a little bit of edge to a lot of looks. Like you can wear a really simple face of makeup but throw on like that gray undertone lipstick and it makes you look like the cool girl, you know what I mean? So I really enjoy that. And the same goes for the shade Rock Stars in the lip glass. That has the same kind of effect too. I think that this would look great over Life in Sepia as a combination. The other lipstick shade that I thought was really nice was Natural Born Leader. It was a very flattering kind of rosy mauve, which I always enjoy. The lip glass in Nature Freak, the gold one, is beautiful. It's crazy gold. I know this is not one that a lot of people would wear on a day-to-day basis, but personally for me, I love glosses like this. I especially love them for layering. I actually have quite a few glosses similar to this. But the gloss that I liked the most was Marble Fawn, which is the one that I have in the center of my lips right now. This reminds me of a slightly more warm tone and slightly more intense version of the Fenty Gloss Bomb in Diamond Milk. Obviously, the formulas are quite different from each other. I love that kind of sexy wash of shimmer, kind of clear but not quite clear gloss. I love them. I think it's like so sexy looking. Every time I review a whole MAC collection, I always feel like it's a little bit repetitive because it's MAC lipsticks and we know what MAC lipsticks are. It's MAC lip glass. We know what that is. So it really just comes down to, is the packaging something that appeals to you and are the shades something that appeals to you? And just making sure that it's not completely, for some reason, off the rails different quality than we were expecting from MAC, which has so far never been the case. However, you never know. You just never know. I like this combination of cool neutrals and warm neutrals, but with the same look. I'm into it. I'm feeling it. I'm gonna wear this for the rest of the day. I don't even give a shit. If I were personally to choose a few items from this collection to pick up, I would definitely go with Marble Fawn. I would also definitely pick up the Naturalist lipstick. I think this is beautiful. This reminds me of a more toned down version of the Sansa Stark lipstick from the Game of Thrones collection, which I love. And depending on my needs, I would definitely consider picking up this face palette because I really like the formula of the highlighter. This one in the center here was really nice and giving that like wet slick look, which I always enjoy. So those are my personal thoughts on the collection. Please let me know down below what you think of it. What caught your eye? Is the packaging enough to sell you on this one or no? I'm going to leave the information again for the next Get Ready With Me book club video down below if you are interested. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you found it helpful, if you found it fun, if you like the makeup, if you just want to make my day, make my day. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe because I would love to have you around for future videos. If you want to keep up with me between videos, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'm at Miss Quinface over there. I post all sorts of more interesting things and lip art, and I keep my stories updated, and you'll get to know what's going on in this channel, and we'll do votes and polls and questions, and it'll be a good old time, so come follow me over there. That is all for today. Thank you for hanging out and going through this collection with me. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next one.